beautiful souls. I'm Alice, aka Breathing Magic, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome. On this channel, we talk about how to breathe the magic into our days and live an enchanted life. If you're interested in self-development, the law of attraction, manifestation, magic, witchcraft, or if you want to explore the mysteries of the universe, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notified when I post new videos. And if you're returning to my channel, welcome back! And surprise, pink hair! And this actually has something to do with today's topic. Today's video is about reflecting on the past year and setting a theme for this new year. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dude, it's January already! And yes, I initially planned to film and post this video before New Year's Eve. But then I realized that I needed more time to reflect on my own life, to go through all the questions and tips I'm about to share with you. And I also wanted to show you that it is always a good time to reset your life, to start new. It is not attached to a certain holiday or time and date. Holiday and special dates just give us extra excuses to get festive. That's all. For example, it is the full moon, the perfect time to set new intentions, but you don't have to set intentions on this specific date. You don't have to. You don't have to wait till the moon is at a certain angle and the stars are aligned. You don't have to wait for that sign to give you permission to do something. This video is going to be divided into two parts and it's highly interactive, so grab your pen and paper. In part one, I will guide you through a series of questions that will prompt you to look back at the past 12 months and think deeper. Then in part two, I will walk you through a step-by-step process that will help you figure out your theme for the year, decide on principles to live by, and brainstorm actionable steps for your specific goals. By the end of this video, you will have more clarity on the direction you want to go and be inspired to move towards it in a way that works best for you. Alright, without further ado, let's start with part one. Now, I want to briefly mention that I designed these questions in the order of these questions so that you can go through them multiple times. And as you ask yourself the same questions over and over again, your answers are going to get deeper and deeper. So you get to decide. You can choose to do a quick scan of the past 12 months, or you could choose to deep dive into some or all of these questions. As we go along, I will provide some of my answers as examples. And here's question number one. What were your goals for the past year? Keep in mind, what I'm asking here is what were you actively moving towards over the past 12 months? I'm not saying what were your New Year's resolutions, because what you wrote down at the beginning of a year might end up not being your actual goals for the year. For example, at the beginning of last year, I started this side business with 3 other business partners and we co-hosted these monthly workshops. A couple of months later, I realized that I really didn't resonate with a lot of aspects of that business and it wasn't something I wanted to do long term. So I had to say no, take a step back, let it go, step away, so I can focus on my true passion. So I can focus on creating art, doing illustrations, and my spiritual growth. Question number 2. What were your wins in the past year? Start by listing goal-related wins, then add wins in other areas of your life. The size and scale of your achievements or accomplishments may differ. It doesn't matter. List them all. They are all worth celebrating. A win is a win is a win is a win. What matters is it made you happy and or helped you grow into a better you. One of my goals for last year was related to spiritual growth. And my biggest breakthrough was coming out of the spiritual awakening closet. I came out to my family and friends and told them about my journey of spiritual awakening. I talked to them about energy work, starseeds, aliens, witchcraft, magic, and all that jazz. And surprisingly, most of the people in my life have been super supportive, like super duper supportive, and I feel so grateful, and I feel very loved. And now looking back at this whole experience, I realized that it wasn't so much of getting the validation and acceptance of others. It was more about me acknowledging, accepting, and loving myself for who I am and what I am. And I do intend on creating a video about my coming out story and a video about how to talk to your friends and family about your spiritual awakening experience, about your journey, what you're going through. So watch out for that video. Some of my other wins are I made an effort to say a lot of I love yous and thank yous over the past 12 months. And I also started growing air plants and herbs. Question number 3. What are you grateful for? Who or what contributed to all those highlights and wins you just listed? Acknowledge them and express your gratitude. If it's you, give yourself a big hug and say, "You did good, buddy." If it's your friend, send them a thank you letter. You can even call them and say thank you in person. My biggest goal for last year was to transition into a full-time artist and create an art product of my own. And I started this accountability group with some friends from my Toastmasters club. I'm so grateful for their support. They helped me stay positive. They helped me build confidence. And most importantly, they made sure I stayed on track. And by December, I was finally able to create my very own art product. It's a digital coloring book called A Month of Unicorns. I'll put an image of it over here. And I am also very thankful for all the positive responses I've been getting and all the opportunities that have been opening up for me. Question number 4. What didn't go so well? Life isn't perfect. We all have challenges, and sometimes things just don't go as planned. We can't go back in time and rewrite the past like in all those Terminator movies, but we can change our fate and shift into a more favorable reality with the choices we make in the now. If you don't like how something turned out, what can you do differently this year? Is there a better way to go about it? Or would you rather just let it go so you can create more room, create more space for something even better? Remember earlier I mentioned that one of my goals was related to spiritual growth? Last year I did a lot of shadow work, and initially I was planning on posting 1 video per week on this channel sharing this journey. But it got too intense. For over half of the year, I was in these dark night of the soul, intense shadow work situations, and there would be mornings where I would wake up bawling my eyes out, feeling completely shaken, and yeah, it was really intense. So I decided to step away from social media. I knew I had to go within, be with myself, for myself, and so I did that. Now, I know that sounded kind of negative, but I promise you it's not. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise because through all this shadow work, a lot of long forgotten memories started to surface, especially memories, childhood memories related to magic. And I no longer want to pretend that magic isn't real, because magic is real. I am magic. I don't want to pretend that I don't exist. And so in October, I decided to start actively learning, studying, and practicing magic and witchcraft. Question number 5. What did you learn and how can you use it to improve yourself? In terms of your goals, is it something you still want? If your answer is yes, then how can you use what you've learned so far to move closer and achieve it? 2 of the biggest things I learned last year were, number 1, When you open up and accept yourself, the world will start to see you for who you are and accept and love you for who you are. The second thing I learned was a lot of times rest is the most productive thing you can do. And I noticed that when I rest and take breaks, I actually get a lot more done. On to part 2. This is the part where you figure out a theme for your year and decide on principles to live by. Now, I made a video last year about themes and principles. That video offers a basic outline, a basic structure of how to go about this, and I'll put the link down below in the description. This year, I want to dive deeper and talk about action steps related to your specific goals so you can leave with your own little game plan. Step number 1, find a mantra. Find your guiding words, your mantra for this year. It could be a quote, a phrase, or a saying you resonate with. This is your theme for this year, and it acts as your northern star, your moral compass. It will not teleport you to your goal, but it will inspire you to keep moving forward. You can also use words that trigger certain feelings and actions. Let's say the word avocado. Let's say avocado triggers vibes of health and vitality for you. Use that to create a mantra or affirmation of your own. Like, my life is so avocado. And every time you say my life is so avocado, you're motivated to take action towards a healthier lifestyle. I decided on a theme word and a mantra for my new year. My theme word is trust. I want to trust in my own powers, trust the guidance of the universe and my angels, my spirit guides, and most importantly, I want to trust in my intuition and my heart. And the mantra I decided on is live from the heart. It was inspired by the book The Serpent of Light, written by Jumalo Melchizedek. I hope I didn't butcher his surname. Sorry if I did. In this book, I listened to it on Audible last year. In this book, he often mentioned how important it is to live from the heart, and I really resonated with that. So my theme word and my mantra are both about aligning with my heart. Step number 2, decide on principles to live by. Based on the theme or mantra you just decided on, think of 2 to 3 guidelines to live by. They will help you when you're making decisions on what to do and, more importantly, how to do it. I decided on 3 principles to live by, and 2 of them are principles I lived by last year. The first one is, if something calls to my heart, I'm going to do something about it. The second one is, what feels good is good. And last but not least, the third one, always pace myself and be open to gifts from the universe. Step number 3, write down your goals and then write down why it is so important for you to achieve or accomplish those goals. And I suggest keeping it under 5 goals. And if you could figure out a way to relate your goals to one another, that'll help you focus your energy and effort and increase the chances of you actually achieving those goals. For example, my goals for this new year are: number 1, show up as myself, for myself every single day. Number 2, live and work with the energy of the seasons. Number 3, post an average of 4 YouTube videos every month to document my journey. Number 4, draw 100 illustrations. And last but not least, number 5, create 7 art or witchcraft related products to sell online and at conventions. Now, when you look at these 5 goals, you'll see that all of them are part of my self-development, magical, and artistic journey. Step number 4, write down 5 commitments. These are projects you're promising yourself to do. I use the word commitment, not task, not action, because it's a promise to yourself, and I trust that you're a man or a woman of your word. Isn't that the case? I trust that it is. And when you make a promise, you say it, keep that promise. Here are some examples. For my goal to show up as myself, for myself every single day, I intend to let my outer appearance reflect what I love and my personality. And that's why I decided to dye my hair. I dyed my underlayer pink. And as for my goal to live and work with the energy of the seasons, I commit to celebrating all the Sabbaths and working with the phases of the moon. Step number 5, break down those projects into mini tasks and actions, then schedule the time to do them. Remember, done is better than perfect. As a matter of fact, there's no such thing as perfect. There's always room for improvement, always room for growth. And practice makes progress. Step number 6, this is the final step. Sign your name and write down the date. Make it official. This is a contract, an agreement with yourself. If you've been following along, then you should have your own game plan by now. And before I go, here's another quick tip. Human beings tend to think with images. So if you can add visual elements related to your goal in your daily life, it'll help increase your focus. For example, you can build a vision board. I have a digital vision board on Pinterest, and I'm currently updating my physical vision board. I'm still testing a few things because I want to add elements of magic and witchcraft to it. I will make a video on it, so watch out for that video. Alright, I hope you like this video. If you found it helpful, give me a like. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, hit that bell button, share, you know the drill. And I will see you in my next video. Until then, live from your heart and be the magic you wish to see in this world. Bye!